Happy Monday, everyone. How's everyone doing? Good to see you all. So, Mondays are sometimes really hard, but I just want to let you guys know I have a very special guest. Hold on one second. That is my stream. Oops. I have Jules. How are you guys doing?
Hey there. Hi, everybody in the chat. Good to see you guys again.
um, Hello, Gelth. Very funny comment. Nice to see you. Oh wow, I already got a super chat. Thank you so much, Kenny. I really appreciate it. That gets me all pumped up. I'm really excited to get into this. So I had a little bit, and I'm sure a lot of you guys did too, a little bit of case fatigue, and I actually have a poll to see how you guys are feeling. Oh, I guess only 22% of you say that you have case fatigue and you haven't slept in 2 weeks. And it looks like so far the other 80% says no, you want updates and have questions. All right. So let's get right into it. I think Jules, do you have the stream on? Jules?
I have you on.
Okay. All
Can
right.
you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, but I was hearing feedback, but it could be something else. So let's go right into this. Yeah, you're good. Okay, you guys, here's the big thing from today. We got a statement from Sheriff Nano saying that the Guthrie family is cleared. They said to be clear, the Guthrie family, to include all siblings, I know, and spouses, has been cleared as possible suspects in the case. The family has been nothing but cooperative and gracious and are victims in this case. To suggest otherwise, is my screen showing? Okay. Hold on. I'm getting some sort of delay. I don't know what is going on. To suggest otherwise is not only wrong, it's cruel. The Guthrie family are victims, plain and simple. Please, I'm begging you, the media, to honor your profession and report with some sense of compassion and professionalism. And I just want to point out one thing, what this says, okay? Please, I'm begging you, the media, to honor your profession and report with some sense of compassion. Okay, the media, right? Because we're going to get straight into the hall monitor, okay? Hall monitor alert. Because I saw more than one person saying that this statement had to do with armchair detectives and had to do with internet commentators. This was mostly from Brian Stelter, our honorary what do we call him? Hall monitor. And basically he was saying that it was because of the public. Monitor. Yeah. I'm getting a delay. Okay, I'm going to come out real quick.
Okay.
Hold on. Can you guys hear me?
While you're doing that, I'm just going to.
Okay, let me go out. I'm going to go out and come back in. And
okay, now you're echoing.
I am? Okay, I'll be right back. Hold on.
Okay. I am going to say that the reason why that was addressed the way it was, this is pure speculation on my part, is I don't think it's so much. I think it's more so to everything that was being done on X. That's where a lot of the disdain came from, and I am guilty as charged on that. But I think that's where I think he's referring to mostly the social media aspect, not as much really the media itself, because no one's been doing that. Like on mainstream media, they've been fine, and 90% of the YouTubers have been fine. It's that small percentage that just go nuts.
Well, I have a theory, okay? And I responded
to
our what?
Yeah.
Okay, I
saw what you responded.
Well, I said that is not what the sheriff said. Let's look at what Pima County Sheriff said. He said, please, I'm begging you, the media, to honor your profession. I said, try reporting the actual facts of the case instead of being the hall monitor shaming the public for their opinions. And here's why. This is what really happened. I told him he should issue a correction because he was like saying it was speculation about the online communities, whatever. So I said, you should issue a correction. I said, Brianna, a respected reporter at a major outlet, requested the sheriff questioned the sheriff for answers the public wanted to know, such as, was anyone cleared? His answer was so bad it went viral. His statement today was to clear up his mess. And anyone who was watching or listening to the interview room yesterday, they actually went through her whole 11-minute interview, but basically to kind of give their commentary on what he was really saying. And at one point, one of the guests said, I guarantee you, Savannah is going to call the sheriff and say, you need to correct this statement, because the way that he answered this question was so bumbling. So let's just listen to this one little part. So you guys, in case you want to remember, but this is, I think this is why he was saying you, the media. He was blaming her, in my opinion. Okay, so hold on. Let me see if it will open on the other side. I have to go into my X sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't like to play on here. Okay, here we go.
Able to clear any of the Guthrie family members?
Well, I put it like this. Everybody, particularly the Guthrie family, but everybody has been very cooperative. We've done a number of interviews and investigations and taken DNA swabs from a number of different people. They've all cooperated. I'm going to say this real carefully. They are under tremendous pressure and tremendous grief. And I think it's really irresponsible for anyone to start pointing fingers that way. They have been nothing but cooperative.
I think cooperative and cleared are two different things.
I know, but the evidence will take us there if that's the case. Right now, we are working close with that family, and yeah, our hearts go out to them.
They are not cleared as of now.
Nobody's cleared.
Nobody's cleared. Okay.
So that is, in my opinion, because this clip, I feel like, went pretty much viral. And so in my opinion, I think that's what, if you look at the statement again, I think that's what he was responding to. You, the media, honor your profession and report with some sense of compassion and professionalism. And it's like, the reason why they have these questions, in my opinion, is because hold on, let me go back to this, is because they're not doing their job. They're the ones not being professional and putting out statements regularly and getting their act together. And just to show the other side of this, I thought this,
as much as we love to hate the media asking the right questions is actually a very important thing. And so trying to tell the media what questions to ask is the wrong. It's not like,
I'm thinking that maybe he was.
Oops. What'd you say? Uh-oh. What just happened?
I said, I'm thinking that, I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
No?
I think you need to come back. I think you need to go out and come back in.
Oh, okay.
I think it's
thinking that maybe the reason why. Okay, I will.
You need to come out, go out and refresh and come right back. I'll let you in.
I'm going to go out and come in. I'm going to.
You're going to go out and come in? Jules?
Yes.
Okay.
As soon as I do. Yes. Hang on.
I'm going to play this clip for everyone. Okay, so she went out real quick. Sorry, I don't know what is going on. Who knows? It could be StreamYard, it could be anything. So I just want to show you guys this clip because this guy actually, he understood what was going on.
As much as we love to hate the media asking the right questions is actually a very important thing. And so trying to tell the media what questions to ask is the wrong avenue to go down. It's not like they're reaching out and personally insulting and going after the Guthrie family. So I think when we look at the statements that sheriff made and the fact that he's saying that they're cleared, that sounds to me like an emotional statement from the sheriff or a personal statement that he's making, not one that is based in facts, because unless they know who was in that home, which we don't know if they know that, unless they have all of their timelines where they were, and they know for a fact that nobody hired anyone to do something, there's no way to absolutely clear them. They can say right now they're not a subject in our investigation, but to say that they're cleared, that's just not a factual statement. It's a final statement.
So I thought that was pretty interesting because when you look at, let me go back to my other screen. So when you hear that, he understood what was going on, because this guy, I feel like, has probably been following the case. Versus, let's go back to some mainstream media people. This guy was quoting, he said, family member finger pointing has been happening mostly in parallel universe of true crime influencers and amateur sleuths, says CNN's Brian Stelter, with commentary often crossing lines that journalists are taught to avoid, partially to avoid libeling innocent people. And then he quotes what we just read of the statement where, and I told him, I was like, show me where in this statement do they point at true crime influencers and sleuths? Sheriff is talking to you, the media, because again, this was, in my opinion, it was in response to him looking like a fool yesterday. What do you guys think? Let me see. Oh, it says device not connected. So it looks like Jules tried coming in and then her device didn't connect. So we'll see what happens. If she'll come back. So I just want to know what you guys think. Hey, Christina, how are you doing? And Kenny says maybe he shouldn't be in front of the camera if he doesn't know how to answer properly. Exactly. And he has he has access to a public information officer. Let them do their job, Hey, Trish, how are you doing? Hey, everybody, I'm visiting family and I'm going home tomorrow. Got the notification and wanted to jump in and say, hey, can't stay. I've got to pack. Hope you're all doing great. Well, thank you for stopping in to say hi. We absolutely love seeing you in the chat, and have safe travels. And this is exactly it, Kenny. He is mad because she held his feet to the fire. I agree. 100% I agree. Okay, good. Yes. So was that the one? Oh, are you talking about this one or the Megyn Kelly one? Okay. So we are going to keep going. Let's see. Let me go back to my slides. Sorry. And so, yes, do you guys, and then I know, because a lot of you are like, I know it's skeptical. Like, why is he saying this now? Why didn't he clear the family before? So I just want to show you all sides. This is what, according to Megyn Kelly, this is what she said. And I already know if Jules was here, she'd be rolling her eyes because I saw her comment. We'll show her comment on this. Let me play this one for you.
Our law enforcement sources, and we have been steered off of that, saying no one has been cleared. They have not moved away from anyone. And until they have a perpetrator under arrest, assume everyone is still under scrutiny. So, the NBC report may have led to some in the Guthrie family feeling a bit relieved this morning. I'm here to tell you they should not feel relieved. Everyone is still under scrutiny until someone is in handcuffs. And that includes members of the Guthrie family. Sorry, but that's the truth. And I trust my source absolutely. Okay. This is somebody with impeccable credentials and is in a position to know. And so I wouldn't be getting too relieved if I were anybody in the Guthrie family or elsewhere for that matter. We've never suggested it has to be this guy Tommaso. We haven't suggested that he's off the hook either. So I think keep an open mind.
So the only reason I'm showing that is because I just wanted to show everyone all sides. So I felt like the one we listened to before, he said he felt like the reason why he put that out was in response to looking a fool yesterday. And then, then we have the other extreme, and I thought that was a little bit harsh from Megyn Kelly, but I don't know who her source is. I think, Jules, I have an idea who you think her source is.
Did you not see what I put on there?
I saw what you said.
Ashley Banfield. Who is it? Ashley Banfield? Yeah, of course it is.
I mean, I don't, and so we don't know that I have an opinion. I have a feeling that probably is who her source is, but not to say anyone's wrong or right, because you guys have to understand, like, the reason why, or not you guys, sorry, not my chat, but I'm saying, like, the mainstream media, what they don't understand is that, like, when the public, this case is being handled so poorly with the way that they're putting out information, what do they expect? And the thing is, if they're going to clear the family, okay, Jules, I think you'll agree with me here. If they clear the family, that means that this might not be a targeted attack. So if they're going to do something as extreme as clear the family, in my opinion, they should have done a press release to answer questions, because I feel like the community right now, at least if I lived in that neighborhood, I would be like, I don't know, I'd probably move or like want to get out of there or something for a little while. I'd be scared.
Yeah, probably, but I'm thinking that maybe the FBI wanted them to hold off on
Maybe.
making that statement because maybe it was being done for strategy reason, thinking that the person or persons that took her um, are thinking, oh, they're concentrating everything on the family. We're good, we're good, we're good. So maybe they were thinking along, and this is speculation, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. But maybe they were thinking along those lines. And now that we're entering the third week, they're like, okay, the family is taking an awful lot of unfounded criticism. So, we know because they said they did DNA swabs of everybody. I'm Listen, I think they decided now is the time, which now may put pressure on the person or persons that had her saying, uh-oh, if they cleared the family, do they have something on me?
Yeah.
Is that far-fetched, you think?
Yeah, I don't well, I honestly I don't think that the sheriff and the FBI are coordinating their statements. I think they should be. I don't think they are. And this is the thing. If it's not targeted, imagine living there because remember again, we said the neighbors were asked, the FBI went around and they asked the neighbors specifically about Angie and about Tommaso in their neighborhood. And then TMZ keeps coming, keeps coming out with these ransom notices. I imagine not sleeping because possibly there's a kidnapper or maybe even a murderer loose in the neighborhood. There was that late night SWAT. I would be shook if like for a few days, probably if there was a late night SWAT raid with that many law enforcement vehicles. And then the sheriff is giving no information. She might be, we see no signs of her alive. We see no signs of her dead. Everyone's cleared. No one's clear. Or like, everyone's a suspect. No one's cleared. And then there's no sign of this coming to end anytime soon. And then, the flower memorial keeps growing. And if I was a neighbor and they're basically saying now, in my opinion, by clearing the family and their spouses, they're saying it's not targeted. I feel like I'm getting vibes of like Idaho 4 all over again, kind of. No?
Could be. Yeah.
You think it's
Yeah.
strategy?
I mean, I'm not going to. It could be strategy. It could be. I mean, but
my chat is not loading. I might have to exit and enter again. I don't know what is going on with StreamYard today. We're having really bad weather where I am, so that could be it. You hold the fort for 1 second. I'll be right back.
Will do. I'm not quite sure. I think the fact that I don't know. I wish Scott was here to help me out with this. He can put this out better than I can. I think there is a strategy here. Especially now that they did clear the family, and I don't believe that this is a ruse. That they just cleared the family willy nilly. I don't believe that at all. I know it doesn't.
Do you think they just said it because they messed up with the statement? Like they messed up with his interviews? Do you think he did it to or do you think they're actually cleared? I mean, that's a bold thing to say.
I think they're actually cleared. I do.
I feel like that must be the case too. But if they're clearing them, why aren't they clearing the other two?
What other two?
The other, like the DoorDash guy and then the Range Rover guy.
I don't know. Should we ask? I don't really know. I have no idea. But I think it's really imperative that the family gets cleared.
I agree. I think that was important. Hey, look, Jules, Scott Fox became a YouTube member. How cool is that? Thank you.
Hey, that's good old Scott.
Sorry, you guys, my chat wasn't loading, so I didn't get to see any of you.
But I think they may have. I think they may have an idea of what's
They have to hear
going
them.
on. No, I do believe. Oh, to your point on the targeted, I think part of me, I'm 50-50 on this. I think she was targeted, but I think if she was targeted, I don't think it was for money. I think it has to do maybe with her daughter. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been for her money. So I wonder, or it's some sicko with like a, who's like, I don't know, has like I want to say the word like,
Fetish?
I don't know, fetish. Yeah. I mean, this is so sick.
Well, listen, I can't think of their names right now off the top of my head, but there's actually two serial you-know-whaters
Yeah.
that targeted elderly women.
I believe it. We should
And
look that up.
yeah, no, there is. Look it up. There's two. There's two that specifically, one was for the R, and
That's so crazy.
yeah,
Okay.
and here, I'll find it for you.
Okay, you look it up. I have to show this because this was insane to me. So today there was another TMZ letter. Okay, this is the fourth letter. This guy basically said that he wants his money, and that he saw Nancy and them by the border and whatever. So then there was this GoFundMe launch, and I know it's not really ransom. The first one was ransom. This one was more like, here's some money for some information. But like, there's
No,
like,
I'm not buying it. Are you really buying this? No, this is even with this GoFundMe thing, this is all a scam.
I feel like this has
believe
to be a
it's all
scam. You can't do a GoFundMe to pay a ransom. But I know it's not technically a ransom, but it's still a crime what he's doing. He's withholding information of a crime. You can't do, and then demanding money in exchange for it. You can't do that. Like, so how is this even happening? Don't worry. When I posted this, they had only raised like $23. So I was like, okay, at least not too many people have fallen for it. But because at the same time, come on. Savannah has money. She can buy the Bitcoin if she wanted to. I guess they've chosen not to do it, which I understand, because if it's a scam.
I think we may be leaking there. I don't think she's chosen not to. I think FBI does not want her to.
Because then it could just be more
That's
and more,
my
right?
opinion.
But didn't they say, like, once they do it, that once like they put the money in and the person cashes out, that's how they could catch them? And at that point, this guy's only asking for like 100,000. I mean, I would give the first 50 just so he cashes out. I would pay the 50 just to get this guy caught for what he's doing. But that's just me. But maybe that's not how it works. I don't know.
I don't know. I've heard conflicting reports. One report says it can't be traced. Another one says it can be traced. So I don't know.
I don't know either. Maybe that's part of the problem. So I'm like, this is now the fourth letter this individual has sent to TMZ claiming they have info on the kidnapper and will exchange it for $100,000. Then I said, are they sending this through the TMZ tip portal or through email? How has he not been tracked down yet? And where's Nancy? And do you guys want to hear the clip? Did you hear this? Let me just play it.
Monday morning. We have received a fourth letter from the same person who says that he knows where Nancy Guthrie is and he wants money in return for the information. Essentially, he wants the reward. So I have something to say to you. And I've already talked to the FBI about this, that if you are not real, you're committing a crime. And you should know that. And this is a serious federal crime. If you are real, this is the fourth letter you've sent. And I should tell everybody that in this letter, it says, I know what I saw 5 days ago south of the border, and I was told to shut up, so I know who he is, and that was definitely Nancy with them. This is the second time he has referred to more than one person involved in this. He said there is a main person and there are others, and he said it here. He is saying that Nancy was taken to Mexico. Now, this is what he's saying. I'm not going to vouch for him, but this is the fourth letter. We have sent them all on to the FBI. And he also says one of the reasons he's worried about coming forward is he has a record. He has a burglary on his record from 10 years ago. So I don't know if you're real or not, if you're watching this, but if you are, and I have told the FBI that we're going to do this, they know this, that if you're worried about getting this money, and you really do have this information, send it to us. You're sending us these letters. Send it to us. We will forward it to the FBI. And that way there's a record that we have that you supplied this information. If they find her and they find the kidnapper, then at least there is evidence, because we have it, that you're the one who provided the information. So this is a way for you to get that money if this really is legitimate. Send us the information.
I mean, here,
we will pass it on to the FBI.
That is not a way for him to get the information. Like, the FBI, you think the FBI is going to give him the money to like give to this other guy so that they won't know who the other guy is? I'm like, what is going on? Like, we've crossed over to a different realm of crazy. By the way, I just want to say hi to Rose Wild. I just saw you in the chat. And then Christina was this is such a smart comment. Christina, sometimes you blow my mind with how smart you are. She says, the sheriff said the family was cleared, but I don't think the FBI said it too. That is a good point, Christina. I really like that. And then let's go. There was one more other funny comment. This one. Okay, Bella, pay me money to commit a felony. Yeah, it's very strange. The whole thing says, hey, Rural Ruins, how are you doing? So let me go to this next one. So whatever, the TMZ thing, I mean, what are we going to do? It's never going to stop. You know, I feel like, I don't know at this point what you do, because I don't know if you can pay, but oh yeah. Oops, sorry, 1 second. This is going to play automatically. Oh, now I'll go. Hold on. You guys, it's Monday. Things are just not going as they're supposed to go. Did you find your cases, Jules?
I did. I can't pronounce the guy's last name. Billy Shemermere out of Texas was accused of unaliving at least 18 and potentially over 20 elderly women in the Dallas area between 2016 and 2018. He posed as a maintenance worker or medical professional to gain access to apartments in independent living communities. And then it goes to describe what he did. And then there was John Wayne. That was
when was he arrested? When was that one arrested?
28. Well, I don't know when he was. He was convicted of 2 unalivings and was killed by a cellmate in prison in 2023. And then
his cellmate killed him. I mean, sometimes prison justice. I mean, I know, whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
And then here's another one. Where is it? Oh, here. This one is from Australia. John Wayne Glover, convicted of unaliving 6 elderly women aged 60 to 93 in Sydney's North Shore suburbs between 89 and 90. He was a serial SA unaliver who preyed on vulnerable women, earning his nickname due to the age of his victims.
What was his nickname?
The Granny Killer.
But his real name was John Wayne?
John Wayne Glover.
I mean,
oh my God. I know, right?
What? This is Australia. We actually have a few people from Australia in the chat, like Gareth and
Well, but I also have one here just in the town I live in.
Shut up.
His name is Edwin Caprat. He was also known as the Granny Killer. Committed 6 unalivings in Tampa and Hernando County between 91 and 93, mostly targeting elderly women.
Yeah, that makes sense. But so did any of those elements did they take anything else from did they take the body? That's what's so weird here.
No.
None
of them took a body.
That's the part here that's so weird. And so some said, yeah, like why would the stalker take her money? Well, maybe. I don't know and why would a stalker, if it was someone for Savannah, if it was targeting Savannah, why take the mom? If it's for money, I don't know. I think the ransom thing is just not associated with it. I don't know. I just think it's weird to take the body. What was this? Why would they take it? But anyways, let me
search warrants. The FBI.
I want to show this clip about the search warrants because we brought this up yesterday. I made a short on it, and I just want to play this really quick for the chat. Hold on.
The search warrants the FBI is getting are in the federal courts. The search warrants Pima County Sheriff's Office is in the state superior courts.
It's in the Superior Court County of Pima State of Arizona. And this was, again, 3 of them. The first one was proof by affidavit having been made this day. There are no affidavits with any of these, by the way. So it's saying to any peace officer in the state of Arizona. And then in pen, it says, or federal agent.
Did you hear that part, Jules?
Yeah. No. Can you play it again, please?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know actually if I can. Oh, yeah, I can. Hold on.
But
listen to this part, you guys. I didn't catch this, and I watched her stream like twice. Listen to this.
It's in the Superior Court County of Pima State of Arizona. And this was, again, 3 of them. The first one was proof by affidavit having been made this day. There are no affidavits with any of these, by the way. So it's saying to any peace officer in the state of Arizona. And then in pen, it says, or federal agent.
Warning media partners. In pen, they added federal agents onto the search warrant. That was the state search warrant. The state search warrant had to handwrite to add in the FBI agents. Like they had to write it into the warrant with their handwritten because they didn't type it up in their warrant that there would be federal agents involved with this search warrant. That's like what a mess. This whole state. The state versus like what the FBI is doing.
That tells me somebody, but that tells me someone doesn't know how to write a search warrant.
Yeah, but like
I should send my kid. I should send my kid out there and have him teach them how to write a search warrant.
Can you please do us all a favor and do that? Here, let me finish this real quick. Said last night a federal court ordered search. See, it was in a federal court. So yeah, this is definitely going to be a federal crime then, right? After telling us a written statement was coming out, what's going on, the latest update is now they cannot.
The search warrants the FBI is getting are in the federal courts.
Why is it replaying like that?
The search warrants Pima County Sheriff's Office.
The Attorney's Office for the District of Arizona is going to get together with the Pima County Prosecuting Attorney's Office, in other words, the state prosecutor, and they're going to hash out who's going to take lead in prosecuting this case. But all of the evidence taken by both the Sheriff's Office and the FBI are all going to meld together in terms of the prosecution.
Totally agree. But we just saw it in the Koberger case where the feds pulled out. They left because Idaho State Police said, no, this is our game. This is our court. And they took the ball and their bats and they all left. I don't want to see that happen in this thing.
Yeah, sorry that got a little jumbled, you guys. I don't know what is going on with everything today, but I just thought that was kind of interesting because, I mean, we don't know. I think like the state does prosecute homicides all the time. They're good at it. Usually federal court's not doing homicides. Like they're doing other types of, unless it is like some sort of like, terrorism level or, that you cross state lines or it's like on federal land. But this was like, normal, like homicides, the state should be able to prosecute it. And the issues with the Koberger case, yes, that prosecutor in particular was terrible, and he retired right after it. A lot of people said he had Alzheimer's, and they're evident, like they're so lucky
He
that
took a plea deal. I mean, he gave them, that was
Yeah.
a piece of cake. That was a piece of cake plea deal he gave him.
Wasn't it? Okay, good. I'm glad you think that too, because I know I've seen a lot of people and they're like, oh, well, to save the families. No, it wasn't. Like,
No, it
because
wasn't.
afterwards we found out so much information. Like the refrigerator, the evidence refrigerator had gone out with all these samples in it, and it didn't get fixed until the next day. Like the defense would have had a field day, and a lot of these, and it's not a lot of these officers' problems, but they hadn't had a homicide in 7 years in Moscow. So the officers that arrived on the scene, I mean, they made a ton of mistakes in the beginning, and then they would have been torn up on the stand. But the FBI did such good work. Like Koberger made so many mistakes, and the FBI, that's how much evidence they had, is that he accepted a plea deal, even despite all of that crap. But now with this case, we already know the first, when the sheriff and the police turned up, like they did not treat this as a crime scene. They let it go right away. FBI had to go back after the crime scene had already been released to get evidence. Like there's a lot of problems here, and I think this could be
I'm not defending Nanos by any stretch of the imagination, but I think when they first arrived there, hearing she was 84 years old, not in good physical condition, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking, did it run through their heads that, oh, she wandered off on her own, until the family was like, no, she had, all her wits about her. But was their initial thought process, because I don't know about you guys, but it happens here in Florida all the time. We're always getting a silver alert that an elderly person had gone missing and they just wandered off, and, they wandered off.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I mean, maybe, except for that there was a few things that doesn't make sense. Like her hearing aid wasn't with her, her phone. And also, again, because they haven't told us this, like, how did she exit? And when they showed up, and again, we don't know this, had the door been well, they said no forced entry, but they told us in the beginning that the back door was open. So
I read conflicting things about the no forced entry too. 1 minute it was, then there wasn't, and then I'm not going to discuss it.
Yeah, it was said there should be no statement if there was forced entry or not forced entry. He's just making everything way more confusing. And speaking of confusing, though, really, like, this is now where we're going with the suspect. So first it was like he drives a van. Now it's like, oh, he drives a Range Rover. But this guy who drives a Range Rover supposedly shops at Walmart for $11 backpacks for his like big kill kit. And then he's so dumb, he uses plants to cover the doorbell cam. But then but then turns it off, which actually ended up saving the footage from being recorded over of itself. Like that whole thing, we only got it because it stopped, monitoring other events, because he had disconnected it. But yet somehow he's able to maneuver as an untraceable crypto bro, sending 4 emails to TMZ now. But he's so dumb, he tossed his DNA glove off to the side of the road. Like
I don't think that's the glove. I don't think
so either. But this is like how they're presenting it to us. Like we got the picture and the statement about the backpack from the FBI. The Range Rover, we had the sheriff tell us that was our person of interest. And it's like, how did we go from a van to a Range Rover? Someone driving a Range Rover isn't shopping for $11 backpacks. It doesn't make sense to me. And there's just so much. Like I was listening to, what was his name again? JBL?
Yeah.
And he.
No, JB Bruno.
JB Bruno, yeah, he did the Gabby Petito case, and it seems like this today would seem like one of the first lives, at least I've seen from him, like covering the case, and he's like, how dumb is this suspect, but how has he not been caught? And I was like, it's not how dumb is he, it's like he only has to be smarter than the police. So I'm questioning, what is going on with law enforcement, and oh, there's so much. So here is the other thing. So now, according to Brian Entin, who we all say, I think we can all agree is probably the most reputable guy reporting on it, he says the FBI has reportedly compiled 40 names and photographs in relation to Nancy Guthrie's disappearance and is sending agents to ask gun store employees in Tucson, Arizona area whether they recognize any of them. And my question with that is like, so are we assuming the firearm is real? Which I guess is fine. I'm glad they're following up, because like if he purchased this firearm, look, I used your word, Jungle Vet Jill. I said ski mask shrubbery guy, kidnapper, purchased a firearm, but somehow didn't purchase the correct holster. Like these things still aren't adding up to me of like what they're doing. And I don't know, and I go back to what we were talking about earlier, like with the, asking the local like parole officers if they're missing a guy or if they recognize the guy, because then I was thinking, and not everyone who's on parole has an ankle monitor, but don't a lot of them have ankle monitors? Like, could they track those, like any ankle monitor activity around her home or something?
Usually they only get ankle monitors placed on them if they've been arrested, charged, and made bail and awaiting trial.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I don't know then. I would look at if there's any ankle monitor activity anywhere around her home, because I think this person like does crime, but I don't know exactly what's going on. I hope they find them in the footage at the stores. I'm glad they have 40 people they're looking at. So to me, that says they've moved on from Range Rover guy. But here, let's talk about that glove again. Because I said, why are we only talking about the glove DNA? What about from the crime scene? And don't you feel like things have been shifted from because remember when they said that they got DNA and then they said it was like from the crime scene, like it was from the home. And then they kind of backtracked
he
it.
said that there was an unknown DNA in the house that did not belong to any of the family members and any of the workmen, not the landscaper, the pool guy, none of the workers, and none of her close friends that come and visit. So it's an unknown DNA. What he did not specify was, and this is what I really would love to know, what type of DNA was it? Was it blood? Was it semen? Was it touch DNA? What was it, and where was it located? Don't you think that's important?
Hold on one sec. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I just think that that's important. Granted,
so they didn't say what kind of DNA it was.
I mean, they don't have to tell us that, but it's sure something I would like to know.
I think so too, because they didn't tell us exactly. They didn't tell us what kind it was, and they didn't tell us because then he kind of backtracked a little bit because he said they didn't want to say like where like it was from, because I think someone asked like, was it where did they find it?
And he wouldn't say,
and he wouldn't say, but it was in the home. So that's why I don't understand. That should be the story. But now, like, I just feel like everyone's reporting on this case now, and we're getting new people, new mainstream media coming in saying that, like, we're the problem, like internet commentators and YouTubers are the problem. But like, if they were really reporting this accurately, they should be reporting about that DNA. I want to know why we haven't gotten that DNA back, because what they keep talking about is the glove DNA. And I want to say something. Okay, how do I say this again? Is it Reuters or Reuters? Reuters. I checked, and they have not issued a statement or retraction, or an editor's note or anything on this article. I'll click on the article next. But I just want to say, because remember when they had the article, when they said that the FBI asked Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos for physical evidence in this case, including a glove and DNA from the home of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie to be processed at the FBI crime laboratory in Quantico, Virginia, but Nana's had insisted instead on using private lab in Florida, the official said. So for the physical evidence in the case, including a glove and DNA from the home. I guess this could have been, so they definitely said the DNA from the home. I guess technically, maybe maybe this sentence doesn't say the glove was from the home, like including, I mean, it sounds like it says the glove was from the home, but maybe they just meant a glove and then separately and DNA from the home. I don't know if that's like a writer's, I don't know, technical thing. But anyways, but doesn't this is Reuters, and they said including a glove and DNA from the home. But then remember, then we got this where the sheriff told Fox that his office did not find a glove at Nancy's home. We have no glove. We never found a glove on that property. So I'm just like, that's strange to me because how do I say it again?
Reuters.
Reuters is a main, like it's a pretty much like a mainstream, right? It's supposed to be a credible source. They even say it somewhere in the bottom of their article. It's so funny. I don't know if they do this on every article, but it says something like, yeah, read our standards. Like like they really think they're credible. And I looked in here and I read the article again, and there is no editor's note, there's no correction, there's no update, there's no retraction. Like they didn't even dirty delete it. It's literally still there in the article, including a glove and DNA from the home. So I just, found that interesting still. But, and why aren't we talking about that DNA? Why are all the media sources talking about, why are all the media sources talking about the glove? Because I don't think that glove that was 2 miles away is going to lead to anything.
No, I don't think so either. Because why would somebody throw a glove or gloves out their vehicle window when they could just go to wherever they were going to go and put it in a trash can?
I don't know. But in the Idaho 4, Koberger, it looked like he dropped a glove right outside, remember? But it was near the trash can, so maybe like it had been in the trash and it came out of the trash, or he was reckless, or he was trying to get out of there. But so I could see it being somewhere close to the property, but to be 2 miles away. Yeah, I agree. What was he thinking? He's like, oh, I'm in the car and I'm just going to fling like the glove out of the wind. I don't know, but maybe he is shrubbery guy.
Yeah.
What do you mean, Modine? Modine says, ladies, please keep saying Reuters over and over. Why? Is that wrong? Are we saying it wrong? I think that's why they won't say the type of DNA, because it's going to be something common. Okay. And Christina says, a glove and DNA doesn't mean DNA in the glove. Well, yes, that's true too. And yes, look at this. Okay, Rosewild, when she has maids, gardeners, cooks, and people in the home all the time, she'll have other DNA people all over her home. Yeah,
but they tested all of them. That's the problem. They tested them and ruled them all out. That DNA that was found in the house didn't match any of them. So
yeah.
Which brings me to, what type of DNA was it that they found in the house?
Yep. And
where was it?
And where is here, look, there's Vague. She says hi.
Where is she?
Oh, right here.
There
See?
She is. Hi.
And then Christina says, right, meaning they found a glove, don't state from where, and they found DNA in the home. Just saying maybe that is what they meant. Yeah, you're right. That could have been what they meant. It's just strange because they're supposed, like, on their reporting, the fact that at the bottom of that article, how it says, like, we have high standards, we use more than one source. Like, they think that they're like the bar for what is, credible journalism, and they have not retracted that or anything. So I'm just saying, I just still think that's interesting because they're saying it was in the home. But, again, you guys, if you didn't see this, let me go back to my slide. So Brian Entin, he said, new from the FBI, the gloves found approximately 2 miles from the Guthrie residence in a field near the side of the road where packaged up by Pima County, was it Sheriff's Office? I think he said this backwards, right? And sent overnight on 2/12, and they arrived at their private lab in Florida on 2/13. The FBI received preliminary results yesterday on 2/14 and are awaiting quality control and official confirmation today before putting unknown male profile into CODIS, the national database unique to the Bureau. This process typically takes 24 hours from when the Bureau receives DNA. This is what I thought was interesting. Investigators collected approximately 16 gloves in various areas near the house. Most of them were searchers' gloves that they discarded in various areas when they searched the vicinity. The one with the DNA profile recovered is different and appears to match the gloves of the subject in the surveillance video. The FBI has and will continue to provide assistance on whatever timeline is provided to us. So the majority of those 16 gloves were from the people searching the scene. Like, why weren't they throwing their gloves away? How did this become? And I called it, and remember, you guys, and I said it on stream. I said, throw your trash away properly, law enforcement. And I think that every glove that was an investigator should be money docked from their pay for wasting time and resources. Because yeah, it's most of the 16 gloves were searchers' gloves that were discarded in various areas when they searched the vicinity. And I'm not saying this was her. I just thought it was funny because hers were clipped to her backside. And I was like, I bet she maybe lost a glove, because that doesn't seem very secure to me, in my opinion.
No.
But,
and it's common. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that you don't discard those gloves out there. And not just because of the investigation, but for environmental reasons too.
Exactly. And they're exactly as in the desert, and with all that terrain, and especially where she lives, they feel like the people there, they're respectful of the animals, and they have the no light rule. Like, you can't put too much, like they don't have street lamps and stuff that can
I
go
bet
on.
that changes. I bet that's going to change.
I hope it doesn't, because this didn't happen because of damn streetlights. Every time I see someone say that, I get so annoyed. I was like, it didn't matter if there were streetlights or not. The lights were on across the street. This would have happened anyways, in my opinion. And so yes, and they should be fined for littering. I agree with you, Michelle Moulton. I think they should be fined for littering, because anyone else would be fined for littering. It's not good for the environment. And it could have been anything, honestly. Like, it could have even been sometimes, they fly out of like the trash or something. Who knows? Who knows how those ended up there? If they got lucky and it is this guy, that would be amazing. And I'm crossing my fingers we get lucky, because I think if we don't get lucky, and we don't know what they have in the house, because like you said, they won't even tell us, which I understand. They have to keep some things private, but we're just getting to a whole new stage of ridiculous. Where's the body? It's not easy to hide a body. Where is it?
If they don't
Where's
make
Nancy?
an arrest or find her by the end of March, we can safely say that this case has gone cold.
I agree. And that's what happened with this Sebastian. That was like the last missing person case that I remember being so close to, where it was about like two months. Now it's been like almost 3 years, and we still no word, nothing, which is crazy to me. They had street lamps. So it's not the street lamps, and I would be pissed. Speaking of what changes though, people I do see making, because I'm already making them. I don't know about anyone else in the chat if they're upping their safety, but like, I reset my garage code because I had a few workers that knew it, and I had given it to, other people. So just for, safety's sake, I'm like, I'm just going to reset it. And then I didn't always arm my alarm at night, because, I'd always lock everything, and my doors already make noise. Like when you open, do you guys want to hear what it sounds like? Just so you can hear what I'm talking about when I say it here. I'm going to show you just an example. It's so loud. Wait. Every single one of my doors does that. So I figured that would be enough. But now I'm arming my security system at night. And also,
you should have been doing it all along, woman.
But I had so many other things that I was like, I don't have to do that. And because sometimes, I would have to run out so early in the morning, and I was worried, like, what if I don't turn it off right or whatever? No, I'm arming it every single night now. I don't even care. And I started closing my blinds at night too, because I only used to close the blinds in the front and not the backyard. I don't know. I'm just like, after seeing all those videos of those ring cams of those neighbors and of Nancy's that like have people looking in their trying to look in their blinds and trying to open their doors, I'm like, I'm closing all the blinds at night. So I've already done like a whole new system because it could happen to anyone, you know?
Yeah.
Chrissy says, "Oh man, I can't sneak in now." Nope, I don't think so. But I just think that I that's like where it is for me, like with this case, I think it could still be a while. Let's still cross our fingers. I'm still going to cross my fingers, and I'm still going to come around for updates if there are updates. But I think it could, Brian keeps saying he thinks like something's happening, and I trust Brian, but is he saying that to like be supportive of local law enforcement, or is he saying that because he really thinks it?
No, I think he's trying to be supportive because he does not want to piss off his inside sources within that department. That's my speculation.
You think that because of his sources, so exactly, so not to piss them off?
Yeah, that's what I think. But what do I know?
No, but that's a good, that makes sense to me. Like if he does have a good source, then I could see that. Yeah. I could see him because I don't know, Jules, where do you take someone? Where's Nancy? How have they not found her? I baffling to me, absolutely baffling. And now if it's some rando person, I'm worried for everyone in that area, because especially if this person has like a, what is the word? I want to say like precludivity, whatever. Like if someone has like this urge to do these types of crimes, kidnapping, which is such a difficult crime, like to take a whole body, whatever. But if someone is doing that and they get away with it, I don't want them to, who knows, they could do it again, or they could do something even worse. And I still hope she's alive. I still hope that we find her, and I still hope we find these criminals, because I want to see them prosecuted. And I want this prosecuted in state court because I want to be able to watch it. I don't want this to be federal, because otherwise we're not going to be able to see the trial.
I hope she's alive, but either way, I hope they find her, whether she is or she isn't, because you never, not that there's any such thing as real closure, but you can't wrap your head around something like that without seeing it for yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're going to need a body in order to accept that she's gone. Mm-hmm. Without a body, they can go on just like any other missing persons case out there where a body has never been found or found them alive. Even the family always says, I know they're out there. I know they're out there. And then 20 years later, you get, like it happened here in Florida, actually 25 years after the fact, they found remains. And through DNA, they were able to identify who she was.
Wow, 25 years. Where was she?
She was buried out in the woods, and it was utility workers came across bones and called it in. They didn't know what they had, and called it in. And when CSI people got there and they started looking, and they were like, yeah, these are human bones. And luckily, one of her a tooth was still attached, and that's where they obtained That's where they got the DNA from, was from the tooth that was still attached.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's wild.
isn't it?
Yeah, and I hope that we find her sooner. Like I hope that she is found. I still
Yeah,
wish she's alive.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. One way or the other, I hope she's found
Yeah, for the
because
sake of the
it's
family.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And then okay, so everyone keeps mentioning this one interview with the union, sheriff union, because he that was really good. You guys want me to play part of that? Well, okay, so what's interesting about this? This is a law enforcement source who can go on the record without fear of retribution because he's the president of the police union, and he has no kind words for the sheriff, and he actually says that a lot of the department is not fond of the sheriff. And I don't know if you guys want me to play part of that, I will. And let me let me link it in the chat. So, and I'll make sure to put it below for the replay crew. I just want to make sure I give it to you guys in case you didn't see it and make sure I credit them. We can't watch all of it, but I'm going to put part of it. So let me go. We'll just start here.
Sergeant with the Pima County Sheriff's Office and also the union president. Yes, sir. So you're able to talk to us about some of these issues with the department because you're protected. Correct. By the, which is why we haven't really been able to talk to anyone else within the.
Yeah, I can speak on matters of public concern. Yeah, and have some protections from that.
Do you ever get nervous about retaliation?
Oh, all the time. I'm sure I'll be drugged in to answer questions about this very interview.
Okay. So. What is since you have your pulse, I mean, how many deputies did you say are in your union?
So we have a little over 300 out of the about 396 detectives and deputies in the department.
So almost everybody.
Yes, sir.
So what is the feeling right now within the department? I mean, you guys have the eyes of the world on you.
Yeah, it's tough. The deputies, they haven't been impacted as much. The detectives, though, they're working, I mean, some of them are working 8 days straight. Some of them have put in 70, 80-hour weeks for the last couple of weeks. So they're doing everything possible to try and solve this crime. They're working very hard, sacrificing a lot of time with their families, and they're doing everything they can. But it's definitely taken a toll a little bit. You can tell when you speak with them. There's a little bit of burnout. I get that sense. They haven't vocalized that to me, but you can tell it's been a lot. And working 80 hours a week. It goes for really all of the departments. So we have 96 detectives. 45 of them are detective ones, meaning they're pretty new. Inside the unit, I think the person that has the most experience inside that unit has 3 years in homicide. And then some of them are more experienced detectives. They just haven't been in homicide. So there's been a lot of turnover. Another example is that our deputies, we have 195 deputies in patrol. 101 are on probation, meaning they have less than a year. We've experienced several waves of exodus of deputies going to other agencies or retiring early to go work somewhere else. So we're feeling the consequences of that, both on the detective side and in patrol.
Yeah, that's kind of alarming when you think about a case this complicated.
Very.
And we know the sheriff's office is still technically in charge. And you would think there'd be people with decades of experience.
Yes. And if this case happened 10 years ago, we would have a lot more experience to handle it. However, I mean, like I said, we only have 96 detectives compared to something like the FBI. They could bring thousands of investigators that they could pull from across the country. So we're a medium-sized department, and of course, there are limitations that come with that.
Have there been frustrations on the inside about the way this has been handled?
A little bit. They vocalized some of that to me. A lot of it is just some of the decision making from the top makes them look incompetent, and a lot of those decisions weren't theirs. And so I agree with one of Sheriff Nanos's versions was that we gave up the scene probably a little too early, and perhaps we could have kept that locked down, maybe with permission of the family, could have put up crime scene tape after the search warrant was concluded, and just with the understanding, hey, we're probably gonna have to come back out here. Is it okay if we keep people out, and see if the family would have agreed with that and put up that security to keep people away, just to maintain.
Yeah, you guys should definitely check out the interview if you haven't heard it, because there's even more about on it. But what I thought was interesting is like, Chrissy says it's a hall monitor too. But I think that it seems like there's very high turnover. It seemed like there was a lot of people like who just don't have as much confidence in this sheriff as they could. Modine thinks that this guy's worse than the sheriff for speaking badly about officers during an active investigation. He also has an axe to grind. He does have an axe to grind. Yes. So if you watch the whole interview, you guys can get the whole context of it. But I just thought it was interesting that he he does just give some good insight, and I think it was a little bit eye-opening, and especially when there's a lot of new people that in the department working the case, and so they did need the FBI there, and let's, I just hope, I have confidence in the FBI that, all the teams they've sent out. What worries me is that with all these resources and all this attention, I mean, they can do whatever they want, and they still haven't found her this long. So just imagine if it was one of us, Scott says, this shows that this should have been sent to the FBI in the first place. Exactly.
I 100% agree with Scott.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I agree as well. And I just wish that in my personal opinion, I really just wish that they would utilize the public information officer, do what Idaho 4 ended up doing after they were a train wreck in the beginning. They, put out a statement that's combined from both the local and the federal and the FBI, and just, just to keep one thing out there, like one set of information out there for the whole public. Because with what he's doing right now and going on to all these different, getting interviews with different people and saying it's just all, and then putting out a statement, contradicting what he said the day before, saying no one was cleared, and then today the whole family's cleared. It's just giving chaos. It's no one would feel settled. I would feel very uncomfortable living there, like right in this moment in time. But hopefully the neighbors, are all looking out for each other, and they're all checking their security cams. And I know, like, Vague, right here. Oh, oops, there you are. I know you check in on like your mom's security camera. Like, we had, like, honestly the best people ever in the chat. Everyone's looking out for each other. So yeah, let's check it out. I just want to thank again Scott for becoming a member, Kinney for the super chat. Thank you so much. I had a goal of 5 super chats today. I got almost there. If I get there next time, we'll get like some sort of, well, I'll let you guys vote for what you want the surprise to be, or I'll think of something. And what are your last thoughts, Jules? What do you want to tell the chat? Jules? Uh-oh. I think we lost Jules. So let's see let me go to my slides and see if I had, oh yeah, these ribbons. So my final thought, now we totally lost Jules. Oh no, Jules, her laptop overheated. Well, then you have to, right when I was asking you your final thoughts, you're going to have to type your final thoughts, unless it works. I would say that my final thought, I want to make sure everyone is getting some sleep, because it's easy to like try to stay up and keep checking for updates and staying on edge. And I'm just, realistically, we might not get any soon, and just be careful because now everyone's jumping in on this. Like, even content creators that don't normally cover this case or don't even normally cover true crime. Like, I saw someone asking, Runkle, what's his name? Ian Runkle of the Bailey. Like, someone was asking him to cover it. He's like, I cover legal stuff. And he's like, when this gets to the legal part, I'll come in. So I'm just saying that, just, be careful of what information you're taking in, and still take care of yourself and get some sleep. Let me go. I didn't even close the poll. Let me close the poll and see what you guys said, if you have burnout or not. Okay, so it looks like 72% say you do not have case fatigue and that you need updates and you have questions. And only 20% of you haven't slept in 2 weeks. And then 8% of you said, yes, new case, please. Well, let me just say, I'm going to end the poll there, but I'm going to say there was a new update for an old case. Oh my gosh, look, I have a super chat. Lori Jane, love your coverage, sweet lady. Thank you so much, Lori Jane. I appreciate you. That is so nice. Thank you very much for your kindness, and for always hanging out in the chat, and for bringing up, everything that you've heard throughout the day. Like, I love hearing, because I know a lot of you follow, listen to other channels too. So I think it's really cool when people bring in other information they've heard. But here's Jules. She says, this is a case that is growing cold. That is my final thoughts. So as her laptop overheats, her final thoughts are the case is growing cold. So that works for me. And what I was going to say, actually, let me see if I'll pull up. This is how it ends. So there was a case I was covering for a long time before I had my YouTube channel, and it was the Cain Velasquez case. And Vague was with me with that one too. And for those that don't remember, his toddler was abused like at his daycare center. And then, they went to the police, they made a police report, they did a forensic interview with the child, they arrested the guy. They had enough to like arrest the guy. But they let him out and they didn't tell the family. And when they let him out, the ankle monitor place was closed already. So they're like, well, just go home. And when, over the weekend and then come back on Monday and we'll get you your ankle monitor. So, they didn't tell the family. And so Cain Velasquez, he's a heavyweight champion, was driving around and sees the family and sees the guy and just like had, basically PTSD, in my opinion, chased them down, shot at them. I mean, the stepdad had like, got a stray bullet in the arm, but everyone else was fine. The stepdad was fine. Whatever. They arrested Cain Velasquez. They still haven't gone to trial for the guy that essayed his kid, his toddler, but Cain finally, that DA went so hard on Cain. He like wanted, it was like putting a trophy on his wall to get this famous name, arrested. And yes, Lori Jane, you're right. We'll be covering Aaron Spencer in March. I was watching a trial day in Georgia on Defense Diaries. Oh, that's so awesome. So I just want to show you guys what happened. So Cain finally is home. And I just, and so many people came out to advocate for him. And he had his case. He went through so much. So let's just, as a warm way to close the stream today, I just want to show you what happened, his welcome home with his family, because I thought it was really sweet. So we'll just end on that. Oh, and before that though, oops. I just want to say, because I'm going to say thank you to everyone. Thank you to the chat. Thank you to Jules for coming by. I'm so sorry that your computer overheated. And thank you to my mods. Thank you so much, Christina and Khaleesi. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you. And everyone who gave the super chats and became a member. Thank you, Scott. So let's close on a happy note. Oops. Let me mess it up before we get there. Okay, here we go. Right here.
Thank you. ¿No hace ruido? ¿No está grabando? ¿Sí?
Thank you, everyone. And Quarter Fate, she super chatted me twice so that I would reach my goal. I'm so excited. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to come up with a surprise for you guys because I met my goal. And I'm going to come up with some sort of surprise for you guys next time. So thank you again. Have a good night, everyone. I appreciate you.